What is up, everybody? It is Lo, your host, and we have the whole Vols ATB crew back for another live episode. We got Brando, Drew, and Alex. So, super fun show tonight. Our basketball team won the SEC championship for the first time since 1979. How exciting! Alex,
Yes, sir.
Brando out of nowhere. What did you say, Lo?
I want to go to you first and hear a quick account of everything because you were actually there for the whole thing, and then we'll kind of go into the games from there.
Okay. So the original plan was to just go to the Mississippi State game, and then we were gonna watch outside at like the outside pavilion for the Kentucky game, and then hopefully, if the Vols beat or won that game, then we was gonna go to the championship. But some very convincing scalpers talked us into going to the Kentucky game. But basically, the first game kind of was as expected. There weren't many Tennessee fans there. It was probably about half full, but again, we kind of felt like we were in control of that game the whole time, and that's kind of what played out. The Kentucky game, there was not an empty seat in there, and the pockets of orange were small. If I ever make it to Rupp Arena, I feel like that would be the equivalent to what it feels like to be in that gym. Because we were outnumbered that bad. And whatever y'all were hearing on TV when Kentucky was getting loud, that was absolutely the case. But I mean, it was incredible to watch our boys first off fight off the crowd because they started getting up, they started getting into it. But every time Kentucky felt like they needed a run and they got the arena into it, we responded well. We either got a really big stop or we hit a big bucket and quieted that run. Winning that game was huge. It was huge. Honestly, that kind of felt more like the championship than the actual championship did. We got off to a 14-0 start in that game, and people were looking around what the hell going on? But then really sweet and funny moment is that all the people around me, since I was right behind Tennessee's bench, I think it was mostly Tennessee players, parents and stuff, but a lot of the older crowd was there. But you just seen anywhere you looked around, you just seen tears rolling down everybody's faces. There was genuine joy among the crowd there watching our boys win, and then watching them embrace Coach Barnes afterwards, watching them embrace each other, watching them hold up a trophy, watch confetti fall on them. I mean, that's just stuff you don't forget, and that's stuff that you will keep with you forever. And I can finally say I, one, got to witness, but two, I got to attend some kind of championship, some kind of real championship that the Vols won. So all in all, you can't really complain about that. But, man, we're playing some really good basketball right now. So that's all I got to say.
So fantastic. I'm so jealous, but you sent us a bunch of videos and kept us updated in the group chat. So that was really cool. I also wanted to address real quick. I know last week we talked about having Aiden, a future Vol, on. That is still happening, but he just so happens to be at a Morgan Wallen concert, which I'm also envious of. So
very jealous. Very, very jealous.
But we definitely still have plans to have him on as our first official recruit coming on, and then hopefully we'll get some others on in the future. That's where I've always kind of wanted to go with this thing. So big plans for the future. I guess, I don't know, I was kind of thinking maybe we just ran through each of the games of the championship and then kind of talk about our favorite moments. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm down.
Fine by me.
All right. So versus Mississippi State, first game, Vols shot 50% from the field and 42% from the three. Triple J played outstanding in that game, 4 of 6 from the three. All around, just a really great game, in my opinion. Kind of how I expected it to go. What did y'all think?
Yeah, for the Mississippi State game, seeing Josiah come out there and kind of light a fire on the team, I was kind of nervous, going to Indy and, or going to Tampa, and getting ready. I'm so focused on the tournament already. But going to Tampa and, getting new shots on a new court and everything, I was worried how they'd, go on a neutral court. But Josiah going out there, shooting it, carrying the team, that stroke just getting prettier and prettier. whenever you see him shoot a three now, you just kind of feel like it's going in with Josiah. And seeing him be that team leader was really, really key. Really big win against the Mississippi State team. I was kind of worried playing them instead of South Carolina, but took care of business, and that was just a kickstart of the joy.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brando. I was kind of scared to see Mississippi State, especially after they beat South Carolina by 20, because one, I was like, well, their offense is rolling now, so we got to slow that down. But also, there's a whole the saying that you can't beat a team 3 times. But I was like, if you beat a team twice by 20, then I think you got their number. So I was a lot more comfortable seeing South Carolina than I was Mississippi State. But I also will say that I kind of pre-gamed a little bit for that one too much, and I don't remember too much of it. But I do remember at times where it was like a 4 to 8 point game where I started feeling uncomfortable because I was like, I don't want to see Molinar get hot, which he started with 2 threes right off the bat, so that got me nervous. But then we answered every time that they had a run, and we put it up to double digits. I think mid second half or early, but. Anyways, we put it to 10, and then we kind of coasted the rest of the way. So I'll have a little bit more to say on the next ones. But, yeah, I mean, I just kind of – again, I've kind of assumed that we would beat Mississippi State. So I just kind of was like, yeah, we're in control, whatever. Let's get to tomorrow. So that's kind of how I felt about that one.
Yeah, I was agree with Alex there. I know it was 3-4 points for most of the first half, and I think it was we only had a 3-point lead, I think, at halftime. Is that right? But you just you knew that this team was going to be able to pull it away, and especially in the second half of Triple J. I mean, oh my God, the transformation that guy's had from the 3-point line has been unbelievable this year. I mean, y'all remember those games against Texas Tech and Alabama where he was just the biggest liability you could possibly imagine. It was equivalent to having Euros taking a 3. It was that bad. And now he's one of our best 3-point shooters. I mean, I think he's playing the best basketball out of all of them right now. But yeah, he had an unbelievable performance that second half, especially. And, we only trailed, I think, for 10 or 15 seconds that entire game. And that was right when they had their first basket to start off. So it was a good performance, but they just followed up with even better performances after that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're right about Triple J. I gave him a lot of shit midway through the season. I was very under-impressed with his performance, but he has absolutely made a complete turnaround this season. I mean, it is so nice to watch him, and when he's confident in his shots, which he was this entire past weekend. I mean, he was really playing with a lot of confidence. His defense is really picked up a lot, and I think it's funny also, I figured I'd bring this up. We all were picking our highlight guys of the tournament, and all of us either chose KC, Vescovi, or Triple J, and all of them were phenomenal throughout the whole tournament. Every game they played so well. So if we have those guys continuing to play this way in our future, especially, moving through tomorrow and hopefully the rest going further in the tournament, I mean, it'll be huge what they could potentially pull off. But yeah, like we said, Mississippi State, I kind of expected the win. I was way more concerned about the second game. Brando, did you have anything to add?
Oh, no, I was just talking about, Triple J, earlier in the season having that wrist injury, and now I think he's finally healthy. And just seeing him finally healthy, I guess you got to see how much it did play into effect of earlier in the season when he did have that injury. But just seeing him come this far and kind of play to his potential that he knew he had, it's kind of good seeing someone on our roster do it this year at that age.
Definitely, for sure. And honestly, you always know way more about these injuries. I somehow don't know about all these injuries. I didn't know Zakai was battling that ankle. I did not really even think about this wrist injury, so that's important. I mean, they've just continued to stay tough all season.
Thanks.
So Kentucky, this is my favorite stat. I don't know why, but Kentucky only shot 10% from the 3 that entire game. I think that is so damn funny. I don't know why. It kills me. Vols shot 40% from the 3 and 44% from the field. KC had a massive game, 19 points, 34 minutes, 3 rebounds. But again, Triple J and Vescovi were very efficient, combined for 19 points and 6 rebounds. So again, that trio of guys really stepping it up. I was so nervous throughout that whole Kentucky game, though. I don't know about y'all. It was awful.
Yeah. I was definitely nervous, but as you said, Kennedy having this kind of little breakout game. He was my pick last week. I also said, we were talking about, if we lose to Kentucky, we didn't lose to Kentucky, so there's that. Really big win. Obviously, we have their number, but Kennedy, his ability to drive to the basket is just unmatched right now, especially against the town he's playing against. He's so confident in his ability. And his pull-up game from behind the arc, just seeing him take those threes confidently off the ball, just made me really happy. But as Lo said, with the defense, holding teams 3-point wise, our 3-point defense is absolutely insane. Not only in this game, but overall in the tourney. I think even with Mississippi State and A&M, they hit maybe 1 or 2, but after that, just the speed of our defense just throws them completely off guard. So I feel like that was really, really key in that game. It really was a nail biter, but we really, I think, led the whole entire game. So just a really big win and finally getting that Kentucky thing off our shoulder, knowing that we own them.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, Brando. Chandler played incredible, and it is super encouraging to see him maybe dance around at the 3-point line a little bit, take a side dribble and pull up for 3 and just cash it, because he was doing that all tournament. And I felt bad for them boys from A&M because they got so much of it. they were getting threes dotted on them left and right from KC. But you're right. And Lo, I'm glad you brought up our player predictions, because JJJ had 16 the first game, and then Chandler had 19, and then Vescovi had 17. So every player we picked was a leading scorer at some point in this tournament. Just great contributions all around. We had an early double-digit lead, and we maintained it for a while, but then, there's always the Cats come back at the end. So it's 65-62, and, as a Tennessee fan, you're just sitting there thinking, what are they going to do? How are they going to take it from us? And then we have Tashibwe foul out. That was huge. That was huge to win that game. I think if he doesn't go out, we struggle a lot towards the end. Because we kind of did, but and we take a shot, and Vescovi, all 6'3" of him, goes in the middle of 3 Kentucky players and gets the game-winning rebound. And that place went, partially dead silent, but then the other side of it was roaring. And just watching him come down with that rebound, we knew he had won at that point, and it was game, set, match. And it's always fun, Drew, sending them boys back to the coal mines. Watching them boys walk up, stomping up them stairs. Hey, all we can do is turn and wave. So can't complain beating the Cats.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly felt like the SEC championship more than the actual championship game itself. Vescovi had a lot of, great shots in that game, but I feel like we're missing someone out here. With lack of respect about Eurosh's performance there, I was so close. 6 points, 8 rebounds, nearly called that double-double. Oh, my God. I was praying that entire time in the second half that you'd get 2 boards and managed to get 4 free throws in. But he played really well. I mean, honestly, he held his ground. The fact that he got 8 rebounds, and I think 7 of them came in the first half. I mean, he played a huge role in that game. But it's like what Alex said. There's something really beautiful about all those people from Kentucky, working so hard in that coal mine all year long to go to the tournament, and just to see their pathetic asses go all the way back up 14 hours to I-75 towards Lexington. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful.
It is, and it's great to see J-Rod just blow his fucking guts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I was going to say, if you ask any Kentucky fan right now, 1, they didn't want to win that game, and 2, they didn't care about it.
Yeah, they didn't care.
3, Coach Cal's playing chess because he just wants to motivate them before the tournament. So
always
keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind.
Nothing reasonable, at all, honestly, which I wouldn't expect them to come up with anything reasonable, but whatever.
I mean, they have those takes, but I don't know if y'all watched last night the SEC Inside of the tournament, where Coach Cal at halftime while he was playing us was saying, we have him just where we want him. Y'all shot terrible in the first half. That's not going to happen in the second. We're going to go out there and stomp them. And then, 65-62, Vols win. So didn't really light up to expectations. I feel bad for all those people. There was that one guy that went viral. Did y'all see that picture of the Kentucky fan that had those tats on his hands and He had like UK on one hand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, awful. I
There's
can't.
one every year.
Beautiful.
Disgusting.
You know, he spent like 3 years worth of like summer savings right there for that weekend.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
for sure. PPP loans.
That is hilarious, honestly. And then I think Roddy was getting me hyped when he was like, Coach Cal, when he actually has to coach in the.
Oh yeah, Coach Talent. Fucking, I was geeked.
God, that was so freaking funny. I'm glad Alex brought that up. That Vescovi rebound, hands down for me, was the highlight of the Kentucky game. That was massive energy. He went in between everybody and secured that win for us, because otherwise I really don't think we would have won it without that. I really don't.
They had all momentum at that.
I was on my
honestly.
tip of the toes. I was like, are they going to call a flagrant here? And I was, oh my God.
Oh, that too. I forgot about that wild ass foul ordeal. I don't know how I forgot.
Where he yanked it and hit him with his back.
Oh my God.
Partial flopping, but what do you expect from Kentucky?
A total flop. In my opinion, so Vescovi was fouled before any of that other shit happened, and dude flopped, and then when he swung around, okay, but it's like, get off of him. Like, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. But everyone can have their own opinion, but I thought he played really strong and just like really aggressive, Vescovi, all that game. So
yeah,
credit to him. And Euros did play very well. Drew very close.
I mean, I give props to Euros because they had that man so aggravated. Like, that they were reaching for the ball when he was up top with it, and like he pushed that one guy. He was like, "Bro, get off me!" Like, I got sick and tired of it. Like, at one point, if you get Euros to like not play basketball and you get in his head like that, it does affect it. But luckily, he was able to bounce back and he played really well, get those rebounds. But his offensive game, man, I feel so bad for him. It's just. I wish he'd just go up there and dunk it, man, like you saw Folky do. Just go up there and just throw it down.
It's so bad, but you just gotta love the effort, though. A for effort. Am I right? Like,
oh yeah,
you gotta appreciate that. So,
Vols.
Hey, unsung hero of the Kentucky game might have been BHH.
Yeah,
he got a big dunk to start that game.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Body punched it. Starting the game off like that really shook Kentucky at the beginning. I think that punching them in the mouth like that. I think that really got them shook because they was like, oh, I thought they was going to lay down, because the first time we played them, they did. Then the second time they whooped our hind end. But I feel like they kind of thought that they had us coming back for round 3, but getting him started early, and he played well all tournament. So shout out him. But getting it started with that big dunk, I think really set the tone for the game. Like, hey, we're here. We're going to play. We're going to play all 40 minutes. So
Alex, are you telling me that Kentucky thought that they were going to win the Kentucky Invitational? Is that what you're saying?
No, because Kentucky don't win Super Bowls. You gotta remember that.
Right.
We won 4 of them now.
I mean, you got to think about it too. This might be the greatest season ever for a head coach in the history of all sports, considering that Rick Barnes has won 3 Super Bowls in one season. I mean,
one season.
Unbelievable. I mean, honestly, he puts Bill Belichick to shame.
Good God.
This is true. Oh my God. Anything else about Kentucky specifically?
Long drive home.
Yeah, it's long drive home.
Like 14 hours. It's actually longer than that. I think it's like 16 or 17. Just beautiful.
Back to the coal mine, baby.
Wasted an entire day to get down there, only just to go back up a day early. Just beautiful shit.
Man.
The fact that he didn't even make it just cracks to the championship just cracks me up.
But hey, give him a 2 seed.
Yeah, no kidding.
We'll get in that in a minute. But I got some words to say for that.
They'll lose to Murray State in the second round. So
yeah, I think that's on my bracket actually.
Yep.
A&M, the championship game, again, shot 40% from the field, 43% from the 3-point line. So if you look at our offense all championship weekend, we shot 40% or greater from the 3 every game of the tournament. That is so impressive to me, especially this team. What a turnaround. I mean, from mid-season, I didn't know. We had no identity. Oh, my God. I just can't even get over it. What are y'all's thoughts?
I mean, we mentioned it, Vescovi shooting lights out, but not even just Vescovi, everyone shooting from, I think we started off earlier having no identity on offense, taking some early losses. And ever since then, I feel like we always had that defense, but now like offensively, they're just thriving. In this game, I still give like big props to the defense that makes our offense look good. Just because I think Texas A&M only hit 1 3-point shot in the whole game. That was in the second half when they were down by like 20 points already. So, really, really good perimeter defense. Also mentioned Vescovi having a breakout game defense, and, just our transition defense to causing Texas A&M to turn the ball over. I feel like daylight savings and, no rest for Texas A&M. Their legs were shot in that second half, and we just kind of took advantage from there.
Yeah, Lo, that's a great point. I was wanting to look at our shooting splits for the whole tournament, but you said 4% from three?
They shot 40% or greater from the 3-point line in every game.
Every game. Dang, that is crazy because, again, with the way that Triple J been shooting, I kind of been like keying in on whenever he takes a shot just to see what happens. Because most of the time he's making it now, but he took any corner three he was more than likely hitting it. I would love to go back and see what his corner three percentage was because he had to be shooting in the 60s. But yeah, I think that's also impressive looking at the fact that we played 3 games back to back against Kentucky and then two teams that were playing well at the time. But I was honestly a little afraid of A&M with the way that they handled Arkansas because they beat Arkansas like a drum. They beat them by like 20 and they hung 80 something on them, I think. But we held them to 50, and we, like y'all said, we was leading by double digits most of the way. Started off 14-0, then it was like 16-6, and then it kind of stayed around there for the rest of the time. But then, we just controlled it so well. It was smooth sailing, and then confetti starts falling. And like what a surreal moment that was. But, all the boys played well. Vescovi shot the ball out with 17. Chandler got 7 assists. So even if he's not the leading scorer, his hand's all over the game. So you just love to see that with the way that we've been playing lately.
Yeah, you knew after the first 3 minutes of that game where we're up 14-0 at one point that this game was just we're just going to have control of it. Crazy stat is that we've only trailed for 90 seconds the entire SEC tournament, which is just unbelievable to think.
Insane.
It's insane to think. This is the most dominant 3-game span I think I've seen from any Tennessee team ever. Even included in the Grant Williams, Schofield days, Lofton, CJ Watson, Dane Bradshaw days, Wayne Chisholm. It's just unbelievable, span, tournament performance. And that one, the one key takeaway or moment for me was when Chandler lost the ball there as he was driving down with about 5 minutes left in the second half. Lost control of it, somehow was able to get it before it went out of bounds, kicked it to Triple J, and then Triple J just drained it to the corner. And you knew at that game it was over. It's weird. I still can't fathom the idea of Tennessee actually winning something. So I still don't even know how to react to it, but just unbelievable.
Honestly, yeah, it was so shocking. And Casey, Triple J, and Vescovi are really playing so together right now. That combo is deadly if they continue like this. They combined for 47 of our 65 points in that game. That is insane. I'm so impressed by that. Let's see. And they're putting in a ton of minutes. They're obviously in great shape. I love those 3 together. And I know I was hot on Ziegler for a while, which I still love him. He's a phenomenal player, but just seeing those 3 this whole tournament and the way they work together was just really awesome for me. And I think they got really confident in this tournament. I see them totally willing to just go at it. I think they could go really far if they continue to play like this and those work together.
Thanks.
Other things I felt like noting, 41 rebounds in that game, pretty good. 29 defensive rebounds and led the entire game. So.
Yeah, not only just because it was Folky, finally getting that SEC win, but just, him playing really well. I felt like having that key dunk late, out rebounding guys down low. As, the tournament went on and we had to go deep in our depth, you could count on Folky, I felt like. And it was really just happy to see, especially on the SEC inside. he kind of hugged up with Rick Barnes there in the end. It was like Rick asked him, was it worth it coming back? And he said, oh, yeah, 100% for sure. And just seeing all that emotion and, even though it wasn't like a great year for him, coming actually here and, getting the job done whenever like he got carried by freshman or guard play, whatever you want to call it, it's just surreal seeing that. I do think we can really, really go far with our defense. A lot of teams, when in March they get hot, they like to shoot the three. But as I noted, in the Kentucky game and A&M, our perimeter defense is phenomenal. You make teams have to shoot inside. And a lot of these teams that we're going to play, I feel like we outlinked. So I just feel like really, really confident going in with our size and our effort. I don't know about y'all, but.
No, I'm glad you brought up Folk because we did give him a lot of crap early on. Most of it was deserved by the way of play, but still, you want to see him do well. And I think he's really turning a corner. He was leading rebounder twice in the tournament. He had 6 against Mississippi State, but then he had 12 in A&M. And I think that speaks more about him showing up to a championship game ready to play, ready to win. And you could tell before the game he was pacing back and forth on the bench, like during some of the pregame stuff. And you could tell it was on his mind. Like you could tell he was thinking about this and he wanted this because finally we made it to the last time that he gets to play in it. But you could see how important it was to not only him, but also to the rest of the team, to those fans. We definitely wanted this bad. And it's just good to see the boys deliver. Absolutely. And then talking about the defense, Mississippi State averages 71, and we held them to 59. Kentucky averages 80. We held them to 62. And A&M averages 73 and held them to 50. And that, I feel like, translates a lot more than offense does in the tournament. I could be wrong, but I feel like if you got a defense that plays well, then you have a lot better chance than just an offense that might be hot at a certain time. So I really like our chances going forward. With the way that we're playing, team defense, team offense too. Like you were saying, Lo, with a really good defense, and now that our offense is clicking, they both give confidence to each other and they work hand in hand. So we're just clicking at the right time, really.
Oh yeah, no, I mean absolutely, and with between Vescovi and Triple J and Chandler, you're guaranteed at least anywhere between 45, 50 points coming from them altogether. But then if you're talking about if Ziegler can really start becoming consistent again and Folke, I mean, I don't know who else is going to stop this team. I really don't. But, for Folke, though, it's pretty great considering, he started off his first year winning an SEC championship in 1979 and to finally end it with an SEC title game as well. It's just beautiful stuff, man. No guy deserves it more than him. That's for sure.
Well, the first and the last one.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's too funny. I mean, and that was a great joke, Drew. I like that. I was just thinking, so the Vols have only won this 5 times ever. So for me to actually see one live, I still truly, I mean, the first thing I did, of course, was get on Vol Shop and order a bunch of shit because I was I thought this is actually real. First of all, I couldn't even believe it. But just to see us win something worth really, truly bragging about in a major sport is just so iconic to me and so exciting. I can't get enough of it. I hope we get more coming up soon. I mean, I think it's definitely possible, but I've just been trying to actually live in the moment for a second because I've not seen anything like this. So that's all I really have to say about the tournament. I thought they did phenomenal. Best 3 games I've seen them play. I thought everyone played as a unit. If one person wasn't on, the next person just stepped right back up and took cover for them. So really, I mean, they're playing their best basketball right now. Y'all can wrap up with any other thoughts you have.
Yeah, I mean, personally online, seeing after the game, seeing that confetti drop, finally knowing that Rick Barnes, he finally did it for himself, not just a team thing, but Rick Barnes as a coach. A lot of people doubted him as a coach coming in here, but he's done something that someone hasn't done since 1979, not even their favorite little coach. So, a really big achievement on a list of an already impressive resume going into March where, it might not be the best outcome in March, but his resume there is more than impressive too. But, also just seeing those guys embrace him, his family, and, his grandkids all come up and just seeing a surreal moment. finally seeing being 21 and seeing Tennessee, at least in one major sport, finally, win an SEC championship and go into a route of winning a national championship. And it's just surreal to see, going from build up from a 3-star program when Rick first got here, and now you're having a 5-star prospect. When after the game, he said, I came here because I wanted to be coached by Rick Barnes because I know he's going to push me to the best of my ability. So just really proud and ready for a good run in March.
Yeah, I mean, you hit everything I could have touched on. It is crazy now that like we're all about the same age. Like we finally get to say like we saw Tennessee win a championship. Like at some point, I guess I don't know, like 20 years of being alive, I was like, I really don't know if this is going to happen. Like I don't know if this is actually going to happen. Like we might end up being Cubs fans that don't see their team win for 100 years. But like just seeing them win, like you said, it was like confetti was falling, and I was happy. Like that those two things have been mutually exclusive for a long time. So it just being in that moment, I know them boys worked hard for it. And also, like you said, bringing up Coach Barnes, I know people give him crap for not having postseason success, and maybe he doesn't have the most success in the national tournament, but now he has the championship, something that hasn't been done in 40 plus years. So we do need to sit and celebrate that for a second. Do I want to keep going? Yes, absolutely. And I want to see us do obviously national championship. Like I want that, but I do think we can't just pass over the accomplishment that they had. So I'm just glad that we're giving it the attention it deserves.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could all agree that this season's been a major success. Finally got some hardware that Rick Barnes, in my opinion, deserves more than anyone else. I mean, just the job he's done since the moment he came here, turned this program around, just been unbelievable. And I mean, I think this is one of the best seasons we've ever had in program history, easily. But I mean, the job's not done yet, though. I mean, we still got a few more games, and I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I plan on this weekend booking flights from Atlanta to New Orleans. They're only $150 that weekend for the Final Four, so might have to do a live ATB show on Bourbon Street.
Oh, my God. That would be so freaking awesome. I would be completely down for that. We'll have to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say I feel like this is necessary for me to say because there was so much Rick Barnes hate this season, especially mid-season, and I couldn't make up my mind because I saw a bunch of things that like I didn't like he was doing, but then I always knew that he was a good coach and well-seasoned, and I also have always respected Rick Barnes. I can honestly say that I have seen him make changes too. It's not just the team. It's not just the energy. It's the lineup. He is calling timeouts now when he is supposed to. Those are little things that I feel like no one has truly addressed. He has also evolved as a coach, just as these players have evolved. And that's important moving forward into this season. And, I was very wishy-washy just forming an opinion this year, but I've always been more on Rick Barnes' side than against him. Obviously, I love the guy. I think he's a phenomenal guy. But I feel it's important to point that out because I know so many people that are talking so much shit about him. And he's really made a turnaround. And people just kind of need to sit down and accept that and just let him continue to do his thing because I've seen all the change that I would have liked to see from him. And it's obviously coming to fruition with that championship. So I thought that was important to touch on. Are we moving on to March Madness?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I hate to even say this name, but tomorrow's appointment is Longwood. I don't know.
God.
I don't know what they're about, really. I did look up a little bit of statistics. Their best player is named Justin Hill. He averages like 14.2 points per game. But the Vols have a 96% chance to win in this one. As we know, March Madness, nothing is ever definite. But I feel pretty confident about this one. Brando?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident going in. I think ESPN right now has us like a 96% chance of winning. The little stuff that I did find on Longwood, they don't have a lot of size. Their tallest player is like 6'7", 6'8", and it's only one of them. I think after that they're like 6'2". Known for their 3-point shooting, They make about 38% of their 3-point shots right now. But Wade right now for them is leading 3-point attempts. He's shooting 44% from three. Basically, I also kind of crept on it earlier, touching up on the defense and perimeter defense, but I used it for this very moment. I think it's going to be key in this game just because of their size, and they may have speed, but I feel like once we get, adjusted to them and out-rebound them, like there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to go up like 15, 20 points like we just did in the tourney. I feel like we're pretty hot. They haven't played nobody. They have the fourth easiest non-conference and overall strength of schedule according to Ken Pon. I think they're just a team that got lucky, and even though we're a 3 seed, I feel like it's probably the best team we could have started off with in this bracket.
Yeah, I agree with you. So just for the game predictor percentages provided by ESPN, decision tree 91%, seed comparison 87, power rating 97, and similar games 96. So all those above 87% chance to win the game. Obviously, you still got to show up and play. They are efficient from three, like Brando was saying. They shoot about 39%, but they are quoted as below average defensively and susceptible to teams that can get hot from long range. So to me, that sounds like a field day for our stable of guards. And I think, Brando, you're also right that this is a good game to get started. If they are a team that is susceptible to 3-point shooters, then it would be really good to see us hit some shots early in the tournament, get that confidence up, and then hopefully that can carry us into some bigger games later on. But, I mean, yeah, I like our chances. I've got us pretty much penciled in as a solid win. So really just waiting on that next round matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good first-round matchup for us. I don't know if I'd necessarily agree that we're 18-point favorites. A little risky there. I think we'll win by double digits. I don't think we'll win by 18. But, yeah, I mean, 38, 39% from the three-point line, average over a little bit over 76 points a game, which is a couple more than we do. And they've won 19 of their last 20 games. So they're playing, like, really, really good basketball. But it's like what Brando, said as well. Like, their schedule is mediocre at best. And, they're, small in size as well. So, I mean, I think for us, probably might struggle a little bit. I think it's going to be a lot like the Wright State game was a few years ago where we struggled the first 5-10 minutes. And then once we get in a little groove on offense, we'll go, we'll cruise on to a win. Good little tune-up game for us. And then, we got Colorado State or Michigan in the second round, which should be a little bit more challenging. But I think given the circumstances and how we got screwed over with a 3 seed, I think we got a really, really good draw in this for a path to the Final Four. So
I agree. I hate to look past any opponent. I know this should be an easy win, but I just hate to do it because I'm a Tennessee fan and I'm just used to pain. So I'm trying to set my focus on just this game and just wait until after work tomorrow. I'm going to make sure it's on the work television, make sure I'm sitting by the television, get through that game first. But in terms of our bracket, it is absolutely favorable for this team to go very far. But I don't like the 18-point favorite. That's kind of steep. I mean, it's the March Madness tournament. I mean, a lot can happen there. I mean, so if it were me, I wouldn't think we would cover the spread just to be on the safe side. If anyone's betting, I would not do that.
Yeah, no chance.
No, I agree.
Yeah, it's just too risky for sure. But I mean, it's actually our opponent. I'm just going to call them our opponent because I'm not continuing to say. It's their first time ever making the tournament. So props to them for getting there. That's kind of a cool achievement. Let's hope they don't do worth a damn. But
I hope it ends right at the first round, but that's okay.
There apparently used to be like a female college until like 20 years ago. You'd think like they would have chose a better name than Longwood, but
oh my god,
that's just my opinion though.
That's as close as they could get to male interaction.
Good Lord.
They had incorporated somehow.
Oh my god.
You had so many joke opportunities from like 3 of us waiting when you kept on saying they were short in size. Like,
oh my god. Oh.
The entire time I'm like, oh my god, this is a perfect joke opportunity right here.
I can't remember who it is on my Twitter timeline. They've been doing mad jokes all week about it, like can't stop, and it's been cracking me up. I can't remember who it is, but shout out to whoever it is because they've been cracking me up with all those jokes. Yeah, I guess we want to talk about our seating, obviously, right? I mean, we all
it's fucking
everybody
ridiculous.
knows. Awful. Everybody knows.
Awful.
I mean, if you're even when Kentucky fans and Arkansas fans are on the timeline talking about Tennessee should be a 2 seed, like you kind of know you got screwed, and like for Ken Pom or whatever the fuck what's his name, Lombardi, to come out and say that they shouldn't be a 2 seed over Villanova. No one's saying you should be a 2 seed over Villanova, but when you have Duke, whose strength of schedule is horrendous, they have 6 tier 2 losses. Tennessee had 0. Tennessee, all of their losses came in tier 1 opponents. Duke, getting gifted Coach K goodbye kiss going into March. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason why there shouldn't be 3 SEC teams in the second seed. But as we said, I can't really complain. It's kind of favorable in this opinion, but there's no reason why you should look at stats and head-to-heads and use Tennessee and Villanova's head-to-head for a comparison, but not all the top 5 opponents that Tennessee beat previously in the year. Like, what are we playing for in the SEC tournament in one of the most prestigious conferences in the nation? Like, why are we playing for a conference championship?
I mean, honestly, that's a great question, because if you're not going to look at it, like then why am I gonna trot my players out there to play back-to-back days and risk somebody getting hurt? Like if it doesn't matter, then don't play it. Like if that's the case, because honestly, I thought it was weird. Because I guess we haven't really been that successful on Sunday, but I was like, oh yeah, the selection show's on Sunday, and I was like, wait,
we play on Sunday.
Today is Sunday. Like today is Sunday, and the game's at 1, so the game's over at like 3:30, and the show's at 6. So like, how are they already planning for all that? Because imagine then if I wonder who they replace with A&M. I guess one of the bubble teams. But if A&M gets that, then they get the automatic qualifier. Then I don't know if we move from that spot. So, which is another thing. Yeah, we won and we basically maintained. If we lose, do we draw? Because if we do, then that's a whole other discussion we got to have. Because then I guess hindsight's 20/20, but then we know that it doesn't matter. I don't know. There's a whole lot to it. Also, I think Lenardi was just the fall guy. I think he just had to stand up for what the committee was saying, and the committee just like threw him out to the wolves, and they're like, "Hey, you figure it out." But yeah. And then here come the AP poll, stoking the fire, throwing some gas on it with the number 5 ranking, which I thought that's where we were. I truly thought that's the kind of team that we were at this time.
But, yeah.
There should be no reason that we couldn't contend for a 1 and at least claim a 2. But I mean, when you've got all of the sports media coming out saying like, I don't know about that one, then like you just know that like this stuff is just rigged. And why do Tennessee fans complain that we get cheated? Because we do. So there's always proof in the pudding. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, those are good points. The way I look at it is like we should never take a guy seriously that wears a toupee or a wig, because that thing that Joe Lenardi has on the top of his head is not his. I mean, like that thing's flopping everywhere. Awful. But I mean, like but like, we did get screwed over. But the way I look at it is like I'd much rather be in our situation where we potentially play a 14-loss Michigan team or Colorado State instead of playing either Michigan State or Davidson in the second round, like how Duke is. And it is like frustrating as hell that, we obviously had a much better resume than Duke did, or you could even argue Kentucky as well. But, we'd beaten Arizona. We've already played Villanova, and we played Villanova when we were, 3 games into the season, which was a completely different team back in November.
Oh, yeah. Facts.
We got a better lineup, more, and everything. And I just think it'll be all right. And I think, we'll get over this. I feel for Buzz Williams and, his team for not making it. And, that speech he had, last night was, it was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty wild. He made a lot of great points. But, at the end of the day, we got a favorable draw, guys. I mean, we can't complain too much. And hopefully, Sister Jean beats Villanova in the second round so we can go kick her ass one more time for revenge and send her packing
her specifically. Just her, like nobody else.
Send her upstairs, pack upstairs. I mean, she's 187 anyway, so.
Oh my god. No, yeah.
First of all, Alex brought up something like, I guess it doesn't matter. Conference championship, it would have mattered if Duke won theirs, but they lost. So, and we won. So if it was flipped, it would have mattered. Like, oh, well, Duke won. So here we go. But we win. We don't get the favor. So whatever, screw them. I think Tennessee is finally getting some good karma. Like, I truly think that everyone. One thing I really like. Let me make this known is that people are actually starting to publicly acknowledge it that are not Tennessee fans. That is huge. That's a huge step in our favor. I'm sick of everyone acting like we're just making shit up. No, we're not. We are always getting shafted. Thank you for speaking out about it. Like, I'm glad that people are talking about it, one. But two, I hope we take it right to everybody and just show their asses, you know what? We're the best damn third seed. We're going to be a third seed making it to the Final Four. Screw them all. I'm done with it. I hate rigged stuff, and I think they have all the potential to make it to the Final Four, and people would lose their absolute minds if Tennessee as a 3 seed made it, but I think they can do it. So I'm all hyped up about it.
Yeah, I definitely on my bracket, on my multiple brackets, I have Tennessee penciled in as a Final Four team. And, I've been asking myself, is it the orange glasses? But I really do think with this guard play and with our favorable of a bracket, you have Arizona and Michigan. Villanova, hopefully they can get knocked out by Sister Jean, like Drew said. Poor Sister Jean. I hope she has safe travels, quote unquote. But just going in, and I think this is very favorable. You have Michigan and Arizona, both their guards battling injuries. They might not play the first few games. So if we do end up playing Michigan in round 2, feel confident going in that game. I would prefer playing them because that Colorado State team is legit. But I just feel like our guard play going in hot, and I don't think people are going to be able to keep up with our defense and then go back and play offense and then play defense too on our offense. Like, I just think too fast going in, and I think clicking at the right moment when you have being able to pass it out to Triple J or Vescovi, and you have Kennedy finally clicking as a true point guard. Like, it's just a dangerous team, man, and I think they can really do some serious damage. So
yeah, and I still like that we got this whole season started off of our defense, and then we found our offense later. So we are confident in our ability to stop people, and I think that, like, it comes down. Yes, you got to get a bucket, but you also got to get a stop. It's you got to sit down and guard somebody for 30 seconds. And even when you dead tired, when it's the end of the game and you've been playing for so long now, like, that's what it comes down to. And also, like you said, Brando, I feel like elite guard play is what gets you in the tournament. And we've got 3 of the best ones right now. 4 if we want to throw in Triple J, a little tweener forward. But I like you said, I like our chances against anybody in this tournament. I feel like it's still wide open. I think there are flaws in those 1 seeds and the 2s, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I think it's anybody's. I also have some orange colored glasses on, and I'm taking the Vols the whole way, but we're not going to talk about that. And yeah, so that's just what I think. I think we have a good shot and as good as anybody with the way that we've been playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think not only just elite guard play, but actual good quality depth as well is a huge thing. I think a lot of people forget to talk about what you need in run, and this team has it. I mean, that was the one thing that, that 2018, 2019 team didn't have was, depth on that bench. Because, once you took out Grant Williams and Schofield, I mean, the talent level just dropped tremendously. With this one, I mean, it seems like they don't ever lose the pace, that they're playing at from that starting 5. But I mean, guys, I'm not going to lie. Every single time Tennessee makes the tournament, I always pencil in as a national champion. I mean, just redneck in me just won't allow me to make any other rational decision. But I do have to say, though, like, I'm getting pretty fired up thinking about at least 100,000 of us being there in New Orleans that first weekend in April. I really think it's going to happen.
That would be so incredible. You're about to make me like book flights now. Just I could do trip insurance and cancel it.
Yes, exactly.
Sure.
That's like totally reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kentucky can do it, we can do it too.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they saved like for 5, 6, 7 summers. I mean, easily for
they
their
mined
trips.
for
We could do
years.
that for us. Oh, years. Yeah. I mean, they they get their grandparents' money that when they pass.
Actually, gold mining.
Use it for that. So
actually, gold mining for that.
Oh, they find gold mines. Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh my God.
Gold.
I just wanted to touch real quick, Drew. You brought up previous teams of Tennessee's and how the depth mattered. Here's what I can tell in this team, and Alex kind of touched on it too. We found our defense early, so when we sub in at 6, 7, 8, they may not make as much impact offensively, but our defense stays top notch. We don't have to shift really at all to give our guys a break. And if they're not making up for it in points, they're making up for it in rebounds. And so you cannot complain at all with the depth of this team. And I just think that is huge. I mean, I know we had an early exit last tournament, but I wasn't even close to feeling confident. It was a weird ass season, weird year, weird everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very confident in this team and this year.
I mean, you got literally about 3-4 different guys at the 5 position that are effective defensively, whether if it's Euros, Huntley Hatfield, Jones to do, or I mean, hell, even Folke. I mean, even Folke stepped up as well. And I mean, Lo, you're exactly right. It's like, they might not be able to produce offensively, but when you're consistently getting rebounds, creating turnovers, and making the opponent just a living hell for 40 minutes, I mean, that's all you really need for those 5 or 10 minutes before you get those guys back out there. And so this team's different. I mean, in a lot of ways, it reminds me of that 2008, 2009 team that made it to the Elite Eight that had Bobby Mays and Melvin Goins and Chisholm and Brian Williams, because that team was loaded with depth, and they were consistent as well. But, yeah, nowhere even near close the level that was last year when we were a 5 seed against Oregon State. That's for sure.
Oh, God. That was really rough.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Were you talking?
No, you got it. You got it.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, I feel like Mark's just like always that one guy on a roster that even though like we've had so much depth, it's like that one guy that's going to come out and, play. So I wanted to kind of get your guys' opinion. Obviously, my main guy is Kennedy Chandler. But when I look at a guy that I feel like deserves to have a good March run, that has the ability to do it and, live in a madness, I want to see Justin Powell establish himself as a shooter, a perimeter shooter in March, going into next season, showing that he wasn't just a transfer for no reason. Come in there, hit some big threes, because we played our guys a lot. It's going to take some more guys to come out here and play as we go into the tournament. So my guy, little sleeper guy on the roster deep down, would be Justin Powell. So I don't know about y'all.
Hey, that's an interesting take, though. I've been pulling for him all season. I definitely wanted to see him break out and start shooting the piss out the ball, especially when we were having our offensive issues. But I'm going to keep it consistent. I'm going to stay with Triple J. I truly think we go as he goes. And there is a stark difference between when he's putting the ball in the hole and when he's not. When he's chipping in 10 to 14 points, we typically win by close to double digits, and it's pretty well taken care of. If he doesn't, he's still obviously very impactful on the defensive end. So I'm glad that he doesn't let his offensive game affect that. But it still just puts a little bit more pressure on KC or Ziegler or Sandy to get more points, which they can do. But I think that if we actually want to put it all together and get to that championship game, we need somebody like Triple J to keep hitting his shots, keep doing his thing, and everybody else has been doing it. So we just need to keep him there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to have Triple J and Kennedy Chandler and, Vescovi obviously be consistent as they've been really the last month and a half or so. My guy's going to be Huntley Hatfield. I think he's going to average around 8-9 points a game. He's shown a lot of flashes in the last 3 or 4 weeks or so that he can really be capable of putting performances like that. And if he can nail like that 12, 15-foot jumper that he's been trying to work on like all season, I really think like he'll just add another whole other element to this offense.
I like the picks. I'm going to also – 2 things. One, Brando, I would love for it to be Justin Powell. I don't see it at all. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be nasty. I don't see it as much as I would love.
You got to manifest it.
I would love for him to do well. I think our other guys are getting so hot right now. I hope they continue. And I mean, I would love for him to get out there, get some minutes, and shoot well. Obviously, I'm a fan, but I don't know. I don't see it. But in terms of my guy, I think it has to be Triple J, and the reason why is because if you notice the past 5 games, in my opinion, that Triple J has really come out of his shell and shot well. Casey and Vescovi have completely upped their tempo. It's like they're playing off of his energy.
Mhm.
And this offense is on fire when they are all three rolling. And I think that has to do with Triple J being confident in his shot. You know, he always talked about in practice, everyone was, even midseason and everything, he was like, they always said, "You're so good. That was a great shot." Like always trying to hype him up. And it seems like he's finally gotten there. So for them to make it far, I feel like it almost has to be Triple J. That's me.
Yeah, I just think that when early on, our biggest issue was floor spacing because they would help off so much of him. They would clog Kennedy and Zakai's and Santi's lanes to the rim. Sorry, I'm dog sitting. This is Meatball, so he can say, "Hey, he just crawling around. He likes to sit in your lap." But I think the biggest issue was that we didn't have any spacing for driving lanes. But now that he's hitting shots, that creates so much more room for all three of them. Well, honestly, everybody on the floor to operate because you can't double down in the post and you can't sag off and help. And so then now that people are giving more attention when Kennedy and Santi and ZZ get hot, they start just naturally sagging off of Josiah because they got to help because they're playing well. So then he gets cleaner looks. So I mean, as long as they take turns hitting shots, then I mean, it's tough to guard them all, honestly.
Alex, I've just got to say, God, I'm about to roast you, but I couldn't help it. I'm glad that you showed us the dog in your lap because I thought you were getting a little bit too excited about Longwood.
Oh my God!
You bring up Longwood one time, and then it just all goes to hell.
I was gonna say something Alex said earlier. He was like putting the ball in the hole against Longwood. I was just like,
God.
I mean, they're short in size, but they're efficient though from deep.
Hey, and we're a lot bigger than them, so
yeah, exactly.
exactly.
You just gotta plug the holes.
Yeah.
Nah, but Wright State just knocked off Bryant, 16 seeds playing in their playing game. Yeah, 93-82 in the first 4, so that affects us no way at all.
Well, there goes like 3 of my parlays. Great, awesome.
GGs.
It does affect Drew.
Matthew Pig asked in the live, "Who is the team you're most excited to watch Tennessee play against in the tournament?"
Oh, if we play Loyola Chicago in the Sweet 16, I mean, I'm just waiting for revenge. I mean, just watch Sister Jean get that stupid smile off her face, you know, and use her like automatic wheelchair to go all the way back to Chicago. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh my God!
Shout out to Cody from Fox Sports Knoxville.
Yeah, what's the over under? She makes it back, Drew.
She might. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but she's like 110. Like, I don't know if she will. Like,
Hey,
I'm just saying it's hard to find flights these days. I'm not talking about I mean just transportation. I mean,
well, I mean, she's got it's. I think it's automatic. It has like one of those like gear shifts. I think it's like 2 or 3. So
Oh my God!
she could probably go up to like a firm 8 miles an hour. So she might make.
So
it.
what you're saying is if they made it to New Orleans, they would have the equivalent of a trip as Kentucky fans in the SEC tournament.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
on a wheelchair.
Absolutely. Although I'm sure they would raise a stupid like GoFundMe for her, some ridiculous. Like you know they would.
Okay, $300K.
She has to use the funds from the GoFundMe to go in her wheelchair.
Exactly. Yeah, she'll have like, you know, I'm sure they have little charging stations from Chicago to New Orleans, so she could probably charge up like for a couple hours and continue on her way down the interstate with her little automatic wheelchair stuff.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, I would love to put Sister Jean out of her misery, but if there's a chance that reality is still in stake and that Villanova does beat Loyola Chicago, I want to see Villanova again just because of how different we are as a team, depth-wise and growth. You know, we have established leaders. They had no idea what they were doing, bringing the ball up the court in that game. When you watch Villanova, I don't even want to put myself through that again just because the offense was non-existent. But I feel like we could easily make some noise against them. I feel like a lot of the 2 seeds and 1 seeds, like Kansas and Baylor, I'm just not too high on them right now. So I feel like there's a lot of teams that can be beat. I feel like we're the best team in our bracket. And if it does fall for us, like this team is easily a Final Four team. And to go in there and win a Final Four or just go to a Final Four, it's still something. It's never been done by Rick. And like it would be a huge, huge, huge accomplishment. So
I think I also was going to say Villanova, basically for the same reasons, because I just want to see what we truly are versus what we were at the time, and where people were writing us off and saying our season was a failure because we lost the game early on. But also there's still that added, they're a 2 seed, we're a 3 seed, and we kind of deserve that. So we have a chance to show people that we are better than the seeding that we got. Tell that committee to shove it where the sun don't shine and just kind of keep going forward. And I don't want to see Loyola for PTSD and Cinderella story purposes, because the last time we saw them, they did go all the way to the Final Four. But yeah, I would just rather see the rematch with Villanova because I think we owe them one from early on.
I was going to choose Villanova too, just because I feel like we could beat them at this stage. And like you guys said, I don't want to be repetitive, but the team that I do not look forward to meeting if we continue to go on is Arizona again, because I'm not sure that we could beat them twice. And I mean, I was at that game and it was stressful.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Arizona has progressed so much too since we've played them that I feel like that would be by far the toughest game in our bracket, and the one that I would be most concerned about if we're looking like further in advance.
I believe they have their starting point guard out though.
He sprained his ankle. It's disgusting.
It's gross.
It's pretty nasty. I don't know if he's gonna be able to. Yeah, I don't know if he'll be able to play the
tournament last week that he like messed it up like really badly. So
he might not play the first weekend.
I think that like Villanova would be a good matchup. I mean, be much more exciting than the first time we played them. But I mean, if we ever managed to beat them, I mean, can you imagine like how pissed Joe Lenardi and his wig that he wears? How big? Oh, it'd be beautiful.
One team I feel like a sleeper is Colorado State. They don't really they're not really getting any recognition, but they shoot the ball out, lights out, and like. If they, I think they play Michigan first. If they knock off Michigan, without their point guard and all that stuff with their coach, I feel like they're just a better all-around team, and they're like one of the more experienced teams in our bracket. So,
only thing that worries me about that game is that Colorado State really ain't played nobody, and at least Michigan runs to the Big Ten. But I don't think Colorado State has a top 25 game under their belt at all, and their BPI is like 80 something, but. I'd like to see them instead of Michigan too, because Michigan also did us dirty in the Elite Eight once on a bum charge call and Jarnell Stokes.
Yeah, but a part of me would just love to see like if we were up by 20 against Michigan and Rick Barnes decided to call a timeout with like 10 seconds left, to see him and Juwan Howard just go at it.
Rick Barnes is a good Christian man. He would never.
Oh, even as a good Christian man, he's still a Carolina boy from Cherokee. He would still whip someone's ass. I mean, like
if he would do that, to the Michigan coach, what do you think he would do to Penny Hardaway?
Oh, he would be balling up his fist, shaking at Penny Hardaway. So
full Arthur meme.
Oh yeah,
full Arthur meme.
Y'all see that meme where it said Deacon Barnes just beat the hell out of you, but hopes you go to heaven?
Oh my God!
It was iconic.
What a good man.
And it was like his perfect, nice, kind portrait.
I mean, you got to give Rick Barnes credit. This man was beating every SEC team's tail throughout the season and still being a good man, supporting Dick Vitale, sending him texts, and, being a good guy. Like, you can't get, better coach than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I've also got, like, really confused every single time Dick Vitale, like, would tweet those, like, screenshots, because I didn't know, like, whether – because, like, it's in green. Like, I didn't know, like, whether if it was, like, he was sending that to Rick Barnes or Rick Barnes said it to himself. It was so confusing. Like, I was like, why are you sending yourself own good positive vibe messages? Like, but
that happened to me too. And I was so confused until someone explained it. I was like, is he like hoping that Rick Barnes will send it to him at some point? What's happening? I don't know. Oh my God. Let's go. We have to give score predictions for tomorrow's game.
Oh yeah.
got to do it. I think we forgot, but we've got to do that. I guess I'll go first. Mine was 74 to 59.
74-59. Yeah, I'm probably right around there. Like Alex said, we kind of stopped everybody in the SEC tournament playing phenomenal defense, holding teams that score 80 to 60 points. I think our size is going to be big, like I said, against Longwood. I think probably like 75, 62, something simple like that. I don't think it's going to be an 18-point win, but I still think it's double digits. I still think Tennessee gets off to a huge early lead and then might take some guys out to get a little rest going into the Saturday game. So,
yeah, I'm right there with y'all. I'm thinking 72-58. Something just solid, double-digit win, like y'all saying. Maybe extends on late garbage minute buckets or some free throws that they just keep going on. But yeah, I think we slow them down and we stay on pace, 72-58.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably struggle for a little bit for the first 5-10 minutes of the game, until we get a little bit more comfortable and get the jitters out, But I think we'll beat Longwood. I got us winning 69-52.
All right.
Wait, Drew, what did you just say?
You heard me.
You want to repeat that?
69-52.
We'll beat Longwood.
I just don't see them hitting any threes from deep. I really don't, because
I don't think so either.
Our defense is just too consistent. They're not lacking in size. They're this is oh god. Nah, but
I also forgot about this. We have 4 tickets to Friday night's SEC opener, or Friday afternoon because they changed it, or is it Saturday? Shit, I don't know. South Carolina baseball game. Did they move it to 12? I think.
They better not.
I think.
no idea.
But we have 4 free tickets. So if Vols win tomorrow, then we're giving away 4 more baseball tickets to whenever time that is. It's this weekend at some.
4 more tickets.
4
more tickets.
Only if the Vols win tomorrow, which I feel confident about, but we'll give those away.
Hey, I mean, that's a sweet giveaway. Those tickets are going for like $75-$80 a piece on Vivid Seats. So
Are they for real?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Especially
South
SEC
Carolina
opener.
beat Texas last weekend, so it's like a huge
Maybe we give away 2 tickets.
Good point.
Oh.
Sorry for our listeners. I think I just ruined 2 extra seats for you guys. So, but you gotta make those dollar bills, y'all. So
Yeah, we got to do something. We have at least 2 tickets to give away. I guess we've got the Vols 2:45 tomorrow. I'm sure everyone will try to tune in, but I think Brando was going to cover some other stuff regarding football.
Yeah, so everyone was expecting a possible either like top 3 from Nico or a commitment today. It was a top 5 of pretty much everything we fucking already knew of Georgia, Oregon, Alabama, Tennessee, and Miami. The word is still that this man is going to be committing somewhere in the next week. Tennessee leads 90% of the prediction on On3 and just got another prediction on 24/7 today. And then on top of that, Wiltfong, he upgraded his confidence from a 6 to a 10. So if Steve Wiltfong has like a 10 confidence, it's a lock. It's a done deal. And we all saw the article come out recently about, this kid just got offered $8 million or NIL collective deal. So like the cat's out of the bag. I expect this thing to be wrapped up in the next week before Saturday, before we go into like the round of 32. I think it's probably announced on the Big Vols weekend. And I think this class probably just went, if that happens, it's going to go from like a top 15 max to easily being like a top 5 to 10 class in the country. Because when you have a guy that's the number 3 quarterback in the nation, number 3 player in the nation, like it's obviously going to bring recruiting interest. So if we can land this quarterback and everything that's being shown out there to the news is true, like buckle up, because it's not just Tennessee basketball or baseball, like coming around springtime of 2023 next year after this kid has a year under his belt or something, like, the Vols are back.
Oh my
The recruiting has been
2024 national championships in Vegas, by the way.
In Vegas. Oh my God. Knox Vegas.
Take it to the bank, baby.
I will die. RIP. So,
but
R.I.P. Drew.
That's only if you make it through Bourbon Street.
That's true too. That's true too. That's a good point, actually. So might not even be able to witness that, but
On top of that, actually, I just noticed too. I didn't have this in my notes, but spring practice starts in 5 days on the 21st. So we won't be having a spring game this year, but Nico also announced that he will be here on April 7th for the spring game that they're having in the complex. That's off to recruits. He's bringing Carnell Tate, the number 5 receiver in the country, and Kyler Casper, I think, who's a top 10 receiver from Arizona. So, like I said, like you get this guy, you automatically have 2 guys that are going to follow. Not to mention Carnell being close with Jalen Hyatt's brother now, Devin Hyatt. Like all these guys are like, top 100 players in the country. So if you can just have a domino effect after a huge weekend coming up, like not only is, you're looking for a national championship in basketball or a Final Four appearance, but you're also going to be making a splash weekend coming in soon. So just something to keep an eye out on. I fully expect Nico to be a Vol in the next week or so and just get this ball rolling. So
I am so afraid to be excited until it's fully 100% like done deal. I trust you for sure, Brando. I just get terrified about getting excited for things still. But can you imagine? I mean, what we could do with this kid?
I mean, this kid he's absolutely ridiculous. A lot of people, they can like compare him to like a Mariota, but I mean, if he can just get in here and, get in like an SEC weight room and like his throwing ability is absolutely ridiculous. Like this kid puts the ball in the money every single time. His touchdown to interception ratio is 60 touchdowns to 2 interceptions in the past 2 years. Absolutely ridiculous. And he's doing this against top California talent. Like he's not just playing nobodies. You're playing against teams that have like 12 4-star recruits on their team. Like you're absolutely balling. So I just feel like the staff absolutely hit it out the park, not only on the visit, but with Spire. And I just feel like canceling the Georgia visit probably made this recruitment go 100 miles an hour faster than it was going to. Mm-hmm. And if they can get that next week and then come around April 7th, already having Nico committed and then bringing in Carnell and Casper and being like, see, this is what they're doing. And what they told you is true. I'm bought in. Let's do this. And then you have the in-state talent. I can't see this class going bad if that happens. I just see it being a huge thing.
Oh, my God. I'm just so happy I have my season tickets for football locked in now because if this happens, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Oh, my God. We'll have to throw some awesome tailgates.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be crazy to see because, I mean, he's a 2023 at the same time. Like, this kid's just 18 years old getting promised, a certain amount of money and what's on the table for him. So he's going to be coming into a quarterback room that's going to be just a sophomore Taven Jackson and him. Like, it's not going to be, Hendon Hooker's going to be gone. He's going to be in the NFL by then. So it'll be interesting to see, like, by the time he does get here and learns Heupel's system, seeing a true Heupel quarterback that was Heupel's quarterback if Taven hasn't, like, seen the field by then and seeing it kind of work from the ground up. I just feel like if you can get that guy as your first major quarterback recruit, like, it's absolutely ridiculous because all you heard was Heupel can't recruit, a 3-star quarterback can't play in the SEC. Well, NIL is here. Tennessee's more ahead of the curve than people thought. And like you're in there landing the number 3 player in the country. Like it's just absolutely insane what's happened in the past 6 months. So
for sure. Well, I'm really excited. I'm hyped up about everything at the moment. Oh my God. Does anyone have any final thoughts on anything at all for the evening?
I hope the next time we come on here, we're talking about singing Sister Jean back to fucking Chicago. So that's just how
I'm so excited.
What? By the next time we come on the show, it'll be next Wednesday. So it'll be the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Sweet 16 / Elite 8. So
it'll be like a covering Longwood.
Yeah.
Really? It's that fast? We're really going to be making
so we play Thursday, Saturday, and then Tuesday.
Yeah,
and
so
Wednesday would be our off day.
8. Yeah.
It'll be Thursday again for Elite 8.
I think they'd probably have it that Saturday, Sunday just for TV.
Yeah.
Not sure though.
You're right.
We can definitely live tweet all the games. I know maybe if we're feeling it, if we're all off, we can just hop in a little space. But
for sure.
All the Twitter spaces. I'm just excited. March Madness is finally back, and to see the packed arenas. When under undercard team like Loyola, seeing them travel and being able to travel again. I just feel like that was taken away from us last year, like playing Oregon State. Like there was no energy or momentum around that team. And this year you have Tennessee full effect, ready to go. So just really excited.
Absolutely. Alex, Drew, anything else? All
No,
right.
we built it.
All right. Well, again, so at least 2 tickets to give away as long as
We give them out.
You can thank me later on that one, by the way.
I will. Well, honestly, I probably shouldn't be an asshole like that because they were given to me, so we should just
No, make money. You got to make money.
They were given on the premise of giving them away, though.
You
So-
are giving them away. You're giving them to someone else for a profit.
Yeah, for money, for financial gain.
Exactly. For the brand.
No, I don't want to be.
Oh wow, y'all want to the ATB Vol merch dropping tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Well, we've got a lot. That's right. We have a lot. So tomorrow, 2:45, Vols should win. Saturday, baseball game. Hopefully the men are playing and the women are hosting their basketball first opener. All here in Knoxville. So it's going to be a huge weekend for sports. We'll tweet out the link again for the merch for Vols ATB. And it's not just Vols ATB. Obviously, we're biased, but there's a bunch of other teams and other stuff on there. So we will tweet out the link for that. If you guys want to get some merch, which obviously we like our merch, but we have gotten good reviews from other people who have purchased it. So it's not just us being biased.
It's not just DH Gate Chinese quality. It's good quality stuff. So
Good quality stuff. And then, yep, the giveaways. And I guess that's everything. So looking forward to the next few days. Very exciting. And I'm sure we will all be talking a lot. But until next time, good night and go Vols.
Vols,
let's beat
baby.
some Longwood, baby.